Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my January wrap-up and my February TBR. So to go over some stats first, I read 1 romance, 1 general fiction, 2 thrillers, and 1 fantasy. The first book I read in January was Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the 3rd book in the Maple Hill series, which I have not yet read, but the first 2, I think, yeah, it's good to read them so you can understand some of the characters they mention in this book, but this is about a hockey player named Henry and his tutor, Hallie. She's also trying to write a book, and because she's helping Henry with his schoolwork, he in turn offers to help her experience new things to help her write her book. I gave this book 4 stars. It was a cute book overall, and I like how they put Henry as an acts of service person and also Hallie being a plus-size female main character, because you normally don't find that in these types of like rom-com-y books. The one thing I didn't really like, how there was sometimes too much modern day sayings and like a lot of social media references, which kind of made it like a bit cringy, but overall I liked the writing and the pacing. Next book I read was The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery by Gabrielle Zevin, and this is about a bookseller whose wife just died, and when a baby is randomly left in his bookstore due to her mom passing away, he ends up getting the chance to make his life over. I gave this book 4.75 stars. The end of this book was really sad, but it had really good, beautiful like quotes and good writing. Her writing kind of reminds me of Frederick Bachman's writing, but it was like more humorous than serious. Next, I read The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth, and this is about a couple who has just moved into a new house. But the one thing the wife does not like about it is that it is overlooking a cliff where a lot of people go to like end their lives. So one day when another woman shows up at the cliff, the husband tries to rescue her, but she ends up falling anyway. And when Pippa, the wife, realizes that her husband actually knew the woman, she starts to question if she really just fell or if she was pushed. I gave this book 3 stars. I thought there was going to be more thriller-esque, like twists and turns, but it was basically just following 2 marriages with like a mystery subplot. Second to last, I read The Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucier. And it's a fantasy novel about a young soldier who is returning home to his kingdom after being a prisoner for 3 years, and the king and queen have just had a newborn son who was almost killed by an assassin when Cass, the soldier, shows up. As he and the other soldiers try to find out who the mystery assassin is, he also joins forces with Lena, who is a royal historian, to learn more about the new queen. I gave this 4 stars, but it took me a long time to finish for such a short book. Overall, it was a solid fantasy read, though I would say I would have liked some more information on the princess because it just ended abruptly and they didn't really say anything more about her friendship with the queen. So I thought there was going to be like another twist at the end, but there wasn't. Lastly, I read The Last Word by Taylor Adams, who wrote this about a woman house sitting in a deserted beach town, and she basically spends her time reading. So one day she finishes a horror book recommended to her by her only neighbor, and she hates it and feels compelled to write a horrible review. After that, a lot of disturbing incidents start to happen in her house, even though she's living there alone. And for Emma, this can't just be a coincidence. I gave this book 4 stars, and it really was a wild roller coaster, but my initial theory was basically right, so don't go into this book thinking there's like just one twist. It will just keep evolving into more. Now to talk about my February TBR. The first book on it is No Exit by Taylor Adams, who was the author of the last book I just talked about. Because I feel like his writing is very fast paced, and I finish a lot of thrillers in a short amount of time, so I feel like this is just a good book to fill up my like February month and my reading goal. And next I got Lady Macbeth, who I think I read Macbeth in sophomore year, but this is also on my yearly TBR for like my 2025 books to read, 25 books to read in 2025. Yeah, and then I got Beg, Borrow, and Steal by Sarah Adams, which I've heard a lot of good stuff about this so far, so I'm excited to read this. And I feel like it'll be good for like Valentine's Day in like February. And lastly, I got Heartstopper, and well, this is volume 1 and then volume 2. And I also heard really good things about this whole series and the show too. So I'm excited to read these. I haven't read a graphic novel since like elementary school, but I feel like these will be quick to just like get through. That's all for this video. Let me know if you've read any of the books in my January wrap-up, or if you've read the books in my February TBR. Just anything you feel. Like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.